All right, I unmuted. Let's make sure everybody can hear me. That was weird. All right. Lots of North Carolina friends, and then we go all the way to North California. I love it. All right. Can you all hear me? Let me know. Let me know. I know you can't see me. That's intentional. Hello from Texas. Hi, Stacy. Can someone just verify that you can hear me? Pretty please. Oh, there we go. Yeses. Love it. All right. So before we begin, before you get to see my pretty face, you get to see my pretty hands. Tonight we're going to make this mixtape cassette zipper bag. We're going to make it with a number 3 zipper. It is also going to come available in the number 5 zipper. And then another sneak peek is these fun little conversation heart bag tags. And then there's going to be an applique as well as some other things. But I'm going to grab these and switch to the countertop. You still don't get to see me, but awesome. Buster is not here. Buster is at Grandma and Grandpa's house with Daddy and the kids for Daddy's birthday party. But maybe Buster can make an appearance soon. Maybe. We will see. If I haven't been on in a long time, it feels like. I know it's only been a month, but Buster is our new golden doodle puppy dog that we got for Christmas. So we are going to start by discussing the zippers. If you are new here, Jen likes to make her designs in both a number 3 and a number 5 zipper. So I just wanted to show y'all the example. Number 5 and number 3, that number correlates to the width of the zipper tape. So if you don't know, get a ruler that has centimeters or millimeters on it. And a number 3 zipper is going to be 3 millimeters wide. A number 5 zipper is going to be, you guessed it, 5 millimeters wide. A lot of times you can get number 5 in what they call zipper tape. So it comes in like 5-yard increments and you have to put on your zipper pulls. But that is not always the case. Do not use that as your like telltale sign, because you can also get number 3 zipper tape and you can also get pre-made zippers in number 5. So I personally only buy number 5 in zipper tape, and then number 3s I just buy pre-made zippers. But that is a quick little rundown on the difference between zippers. Again, tonight we're going to be running the number 5. Nope, I just lied. We're running the number 3. I'm showing you the number 3. The 5 is the pretty rainbow zipper. Okay, the pretty rainbow zipper is available in my shop, and I have that pinned to the top for quick access, because you're going to see a lot of things that I sell in my shop. So here, for just a jiffy, for those of you who have missed my beautiful face, just kidding, here I am. I promise I'm here. It's not just my voice. Back to the tabletop. Next thing that we're going to talk about is your tearaway stabilizer. This is just 2 different sizes. Let's see. 8-inch wide and 12-inch wide. Okay. Usually fits most hoops. Brain fart. This is Sulky's Tear Easy. It is literally almost like tissue paper. It tears out so easy. I know that's like the name of it, but it's true. So that is also available in my shop. That is what Jen highly recommends for these clean stitch bags. So if you have ever made a bag of Jen's before, we typically only use cutaway because we don't like, and this is all personal preference, but for the majority, I feel like we decided that we don't love the sound of tearaway in our bags. Like, it kind of has a crunchy feel. And so unless you tear all of it out, it's like kind of meh. People don't like it. So usually the bag designs have a lot of detail stitches in them for placement and whatnot, and therefore it's a pain in the rear to get. Oh, I just ripped. See, I always do that. I always want to tighten my stabilizer, and then tearaway just rips out of your hand. So, but with all of the placement lines and stuff, it makes it really hard to get all of the tearaway out of it. So Jen has come up with this new kind of bag design where it is considered a clean stitch. There's not as many lines or stitches, I should say, and it just makes pulling the tearaway out a little bit easier. So yeah, that fluorescent is neon pink vinyl that we're going to use to make our bag tonight. So hopefully they come out as cute as the ones I already made. But shockingly, I already have like everything prepped. So fingers crossed, first day back in production for 2024, everything goes smoothly. But if you've been around for a minute or two, you know that's probably not going to be the case. So I just want to make sure I'm not missing any comments. Marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. Okay, so who's ready to get stitching? So I have my tearaway hooped in my 10-inch Mighty Hoop. You use what you use. I am making the 5x8 size bag that is marked as the 8x8 hoop size, if that is beneficial to anybody. So 8x8, so I'm using my 10-inch hoop so I have a little bit of room to move. Load it onto the machine. We will go to the machine. Oh, let me adjust your camera settings for a jiffy. There we go. Done. Marvelous. Okay, so first step is still the same. It is going to be our placement stitch. I'm going to slow down the machine because I can hear you guys already. That thing goes so fast. Yes, it does. So we'll slow it down to 800 and we're going to hit go. Oh, and of course we're already going to break the thread. How sweet of you. Didn't even do anything. But I will say, my kids have not been in school for what feels like the last week. So this machine has not been used. And therefore it's probably like, whoa, hi, how are you? Long time no see. Sorry, I can't talk and thread the needle at the same time. Go in your hole. Don't pull out. This is why I have these long nails, because it makes grabbing the thread easier. Okay. Try this again. Alright, so I'm gonna pull, now it's doing the lines for our zipper. Elaine, in all honesty, she just wasn't used. So she was like, whoa, okay, I'm awake, guys, sorry. All right, so we're gonna go back to the tabletop here, and I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna draw the line where, you know, the stitches are missing. Luckily, it's just placement, so it doesn't matter. So hopefully you can see that. So it is similar to our typical pop bags, but before there was always 3 lines for the zipper. Again, with these clean stitch, she's just trying to eliminate some stitches so that it's not, you know, it's easier to remove the stabilizer. So you'll see there's a gap between the edge of the fabric or the outer placement line and where the zipper lines start. Again, they're placement lines, so it's totally okay. Again, the two lines here are zipper, top and bottom. So let me grab some tape and tape it in there so y'all don't think I'm going to sew my fingers off tonight. I know. Shocking, but we're going to start 2024 off on a good note. So, tape the zipper down in place. Again, you tape what makes you feel confident in your zipper placement. I like to place 2 pieces of tape, one on either side, outside the placement line to hold it in place. If you tape the center, it's going to stitch over your tape, and then it's kind of a pain to get the tape off. So, again, I find these 2 spots hold it well enough, but if not, you place your tape wherever you feel fit. We're going to go back to the machine, load this guy back on here. Okay. We're going to tack that down. No, I see it. Look, the thread was trying to escape again. Now the white thread wants to get in the mix. So it does do a little jump up to the top line. Your machine might cut that and start new line. Every machine is kind of different on how it handles that. The thread is really being cantankerous tonight. Okay. Next, it's going to tack down the bottom portion of our bag. Actually, I'm going to go back to the tabletop for you guys. Okay, because I'm a firm believer in reusing the tape until it tapes no more. So another way that the clean stitch is different than our standard bags is a lot of times it goes across the top and it tacks down the whole area. For this guy, it's going to only stitch the top line here. I'm trying to find my straight edge and I feel like I'm not finding it. I'm just going to cut a new one because it's going to drive me crazy. Okay. But it will feel a little different if you've made lots of standard pop bags. Okay. So you're going to butt your vinyl up to your zipper. And I will say these clean stitch bags are intended to be made out of a soft pliable vinyl. Okay, so not really recommended for fabric because again it's not lined and things like that, so you're gonna get a lot of fraying and kind of just not pretty looking. So I'm gonna do another piece of the top because this vinyl is being very curly for some reason. Hopefully just enough to hold it and not be stitched down. Okay, back to the machine. Again, it's only going to run one single stitch across the top zipper area. Be ready on the stop. Beautiful. So now we're going to do the same thing for the top. If it makes you feel better, you can most definitely kind of keep this tacked down here just so that it stays where she's supposed to be. Again, I'm going to take this tape, reuse it at the top. Does it feel like this has been forever since I've been on here to anybody else? I haven't known that it was Tuesday in a long time because this is what reminds me. Number 3 zipper. Yes, this design is available in a number 5, but we're just running the number 3 tonight. So I'm going to pull this out for you. Now it's going to give us our first applique placement. Of course it would break. I was like, why does that sound funny? Because the silver thread wanted to break too. Why wouldn't it? Scissors. Okay, so before I place my first applique fabric, I'm going to show you one more product that is crucial in appliques. But first, I have to get this silly, did it, needle threaded. Let go, let go. Okay. So, let's go back to the tabletop. Okay, so we have our pinks tacked down. Again, it's just at the zipper spot. Then we're going to use what's called perfect applique. You can also use heat and bond. Jen and I have found that perfect applique, which is made by Sulky, is a lot thinner and gives the fabric more flex than the heat and bond. You use whatever you prefer. I have the perfect applique in stock on the website if you're interested in that. But what I typically do, I know that Jen has measurements on her website or whenever you buy the design, you get a PDF and it tells you. But guess what? The PDF isn't made yet, or at least I haven't seen it yet. So this is how I measure for my appliques. Is I just take my heat and bond or perfect applique, lay it on top of the placement stitch. I know that's about how much I need. So then I'm going to go to the iron and hit it one time. Oh, it's big enough. Let's see. Should we take a shot every time? Lisa, you're trying to get me fired. We cannot start 2024 like that, okay? I tried seeing if you were on 2 weeks ago, found nothing. I'm so sorry. But I'm back, okay? She can't get rid of me for that long. Yeah, Sarah, it would not be good. Did I forget to switch the camera? Sorry. There you go. I can see you. I can see you as in you can see. Oh, I switched it to where you could see me. You can't see you. You don't need to see me. You gotta see the project. Can you see the tabletop now? All right, so since you didn't see it, this piece isn't big enough, but I take so here's the perfect applique, since you didn't see that. Comes in a big old honking thing. What is this? 18 inches by 3 yards, so that should keep you busy for a while. And then I take my heat and bond or my perfect applique and put it on top of the placement, and then I just chop it down to the size that I need. And then I know, then I iron it onto my big piece of fabric and know that that's how much I need. So here is my piece with the paper on back. Why is this not coming off? That's weird. Pause. No embroidery would be getting done. Yeah, we would for sure get in trouble. Listen, 2024, my goal is to not get fired. I've made it a few years now, so we're not making it this year either. Okay, so remove the paper from the back. And then we're going to place it here. Yeah. Okay, back to the machine we go. It is going to tack it down, and then I will trim it. Beautiful. I should really trim off that extra vinyl so y'all can see what this thing's doing. All right, so we're going back to the tabletop. Let me trim off this first. Okay, now you'll be able to see when it's on the machine. I'll tape it down. That should help. Okay. These are also on the website. Kai double curve. I think they're 5-inch, maybe 5.5-inch. Double curve. You guys, when you treat your appliques, that's how easy they are to trim. Just saying. If you use untreated, if you don't use heat and bond or perfect applique, I will tell you, you will be saying curse words when you're trimming your appliques. But when you treat them, boom. Literally cuts like high-dollar wrapping paper. Boom. Okay, back to the machine we go. It's going to do the placement for the bottom portion. So this button. Come on. Start. All right, this portion, I'm just going to use vinyl so I don't have to treat anything. So we're just going to tack it, lay it down here and stitch away again. Oh, that was really stinking close. Like, there's literally a spot that I'm not going to be able to trim because it's that close. Nailed it. Didn't have to cut it out, so that's all that counts. No removing stitches here. So again, this placement, I used vinyl. Just so you know, for my samples, I used all cotton for everything. So anywhere that you use a cotton for your applique, make sure you're treating it with either that perfect applique or heat and bond. Like I said, it's really going to save you when you come to trimming. Oh my gosh. That's very impressive that I was able to get that close. So yeah, but if you're using vinyl, obviously you do not need to use any sort of treatment because you already got the structure of it there. Okay, so back to the machine. It's going to do the satin across the two of those now, I believe. Oh, I'm so excited to see this one. Jen never changes her bobbin when she uses black. Do you use switch your bobbin or no? I typically do, but I forgot. So far, it's not really showing. No heat and bond used on the vinyl at all. Okay, now it's gonna do the outline satin. I feel like on my domestic machine, I don't touch my bobbin, but for some reason, with this big lady, I always touch my bobbin. But I didn't this time, and it seems to be doing just fine. So maybe I'm just wasting energy. Probably the story of my life. Okay, good. Well, at least I have Team Linda on my side. I'll take it. Listen, it's not unusual for me to be the oddball out, so I guess I'll take it. Almost made it around. All right, phew, we made it around. Now it's gonna do the placement stitch for the inside area. Late to the party, what vinyl do you recommend? I recently had a vinyl completely pull away from... Okay, so while this is stopped for a second, let's talk about vinyls. I'll turn it so y'all can see me. So vinyls, especially printed vinyls, are extremely cheaply made and typically produced for like hair bows or keychains. They are not made, they're not produced or ever really intended for embroidery. But then once the embroidery world started stitching on vinyl, people just kind of like took it as it's all the same, and it's not. So let me tell you, if you can kind of see from this vinyl, do you see the back how it has almost like a fabric texture, a woven texture to the back? So this is the front, obviously nice smooth vinyl, and on the back is a woven texture, so it has a fabric like feel to it and drape. That is what is going to hold up to embroidery. Most of those printed vinyls almost have like a canvas type back to it. I don't even think I have any. Obviously there are some good printed ones if you're depending, but for the most part, if it is not expensive and it's printed, it's most likely going to tear in a satin. I will tell you, My Punk Embroidery, they're based out of Kansas. They test all of their vinyl before putting it for sale. So they test it to satins, they test it to washing. So for hooded bath towels or other projects that are going to be washed, they test it for that, drying, those types of things. So you really need to look into the supplier, where you're buying your vinyl from, to know the quality of your vinyl that you're getting, if that makes sense. This neon hot pink that I'm using today is just a standard marine vinyl. So it's intended to be sewn into boat seats or outdoor furniture. That tends to hold up the best. Okay, so just joining. I love this pattern. Is it available for purchase? It's not available yet. It will be available on Friday. Okay, yes, My Punk Embroidery is that's my go-to. There are plenty of other places out there, but I will tell you that, to my knowledge, My Punk Embroidery, don't put the EM there. So My Punk Embroidery, it's all one word, does very well with testing their stuff before they put it into production. Unlike some people, they're just, ready to get the sales. They just throw it online and then they wait for the customer complaints to come in before they pull the product. Whereas My Punk is literally taking the time to test it before you buy it. So that's my little spiel on vinyl. My Punk does have prints, and they also have I will tell you, both of these came from My Punk. So this is like iridescent looking. And then this one is like a black. It's almost like a matte shimmer. I don't remember the names of either of them. Please don't come after me. I don't know about y'all, but I just buy stuff to buy stuff, and then I don't use it for years on end. That stuff's probably been 5 years old, so I don't remember what it is. But I know it came from My Punk. I will also say they nicely wrap your... And they do label it. I always feel like the labels kind of fail after so many years. See, you can tell. I buy stuff and I never use it. I haven't bought from them in probably 6 months to a year, and this baby's never been opened. So there's that. But definitely do your research on what vinyl you're using. I'm in Kansas too. They ship so fast. I got mine next day. Yes, they do ship extremely fast. Usually within a day or two, and they're in Kansas, so like she said, they're literally middle of the US, so you're going to get it within 3 days probably. They are very reasonably priced as well. So now that we had a little spiel on vinyl, we're going to go back to our machine. There is a placement stitch here in the center that I'm going to lay down white and stitch that down. I will say that Joann's does carry some solid color marine vinyl. If you're looking for just a solid for, say, bag tags or keychains, or even this, like the solid portions of it, what Joann sells is that marine vinyl. So what is intended to be used on like boat seats and stuff. Fairly high quality, I will say. Sometimes it is a little soft, so if you're going to put a lot of detail or dense embroidery on it, it's not going to hold up well, especially the white. The embroidery is going to sink in, so just know that. But for the most part, and it comes on 56-inch rolls, so you can get literally a quarter yard, and you have a 9-inch strip, 56 inches long, that you can make, plenty out of. So there's that option as well. If you want like this, sparkly black or fun, a little bit more than just your solid matte colors, you're definitely going to have to go someplace like My Punk Embroidery. Okay, Got that guy all trimmed up. It kind of looks like a, what is that? A composition notebook. Funny. All right, but it's gonna be a cassette tape. Hopefully it comes out. So, I'm gonna go back to the machine. It is going to satin around that part. The black is not fluidity because I have that too, but it is okay. Oh, we're still, there you go. So they're even having a sale, so make sure you run over there and get yourself some new vinyl. Nice of you to join us. You're a little tardy, but I'll let it slide because I love you bunches. Oh, Elaine, are they going on vacation or something? I forgot she does do that. So now it's moving into the decorative fill stitches on the design. I noticed, Cindy. I noticed. Oh, yeah, because they always do their inventory. I think that's why. They do inventory of all of their stuff. Janet, my husband said the same thing. He was like, you're going to make these, but nobody's going to know what they are except the older people. Like, the kids who think that your zipper bags are cool are going to have no idea what that is. I love that. I love that. Well, and then my husband was, was it my husband or was it you that said Guardian of the Galaxies? If they know, now it's gonna do the little circles. Oh no. Guardian of the Galaxies has a mixtape in it. Apparently, I've never seen the movie, so I don't really know, but. I love you guys. I don't watch movies, so I have no idea anything about Guardian of the Galaxy. So, fresh out of the loop. Sorry, friends. You can see this black thread trying to break again. Not today, Linda. Alright, now it's going to give us our applique placement for the bottom applique. And the thread drill. Again. Oh, listen here. She's very hostile this evening. Just work, darn it. Go. Oh. Okay. So again, oops, shook the camera. My bad. I'm going to trim down my heat and bond or perfect applique. Iron it to the back. Somebody was asking earlier for clarification on why we're heat and bonding just the fabric and not the vinyl. Yes, heat and bond is used to like fuse two fabrics together, but it also gives you your fabric some stability, as well as it's almost like an interfacing without, I mean, it is technically considered an interfacing, but it just helps your fabric not fray. Whereas you don't have to do it on the vinyl because the vinyl's not going to fray when it gets hit with a satin. If you didn't do anything to a cotton woven and you used it in a satin, it would definitely fray and pull out. Grab my scissors. I'm trimming it on the machine because I can. And again, I'll just never get over the fact of how easy it is to cut an applique when it's treated. Like, the worst is when I skimp on the heat and bond or perfect applique, and so it's not fully in the tack down, and so then you do have like non-treat here. You can tell when you go to trim that fabric, you're like, oh, didn't get fully taken care of. But this is the last satin, and then we're going to open our zipper and finish our band. Oh, I lied. We still have to run the words mixed cake. What is this? Oh my gosh. That's kind of funny. Cats are crazy. They do some crazy stuff. said, I love doing these. I love showing you guys how to do the designs. Plus, I love just chatting with you guys. So that is the end of that applique. Now it's going to go up and run the lettering Love Mix. Should be in white. If I chose the right colors. Gonna go back to pink to do the heart, which is the dot of the eye. And we've made it to the final step, so I'm gonna open my zipper. Okay, and I'm also going to add a piece of elastic folded over into a loop, and I just have it taped to hold it shut. And then that, so that I can add either charms to it or add a wristlet strap or anything like that. This is the step that I add that to. Try to keep the tape out of the stitch area. So you put that down, and then we take our vinyl and place it over everything and hit go. Again, you're putting your vinyl face down on your project on the top of the hoop. So with these clean stitch bags, there is nothing on the bottom side of your hoop. So that's huge. There's no lining on these. Again, it's as minimal stitches as possible to make it easier to tear out. I'm scared that my elastic is moving, so I want to make sure it's still there. That's good. All right, so now it is complete, so we're going to come back to the tabletop. Fix that. So because it is on tearaway, you literally can just tear it away. There is usually like 1 or 2 threads that'll like to get caught from the placement stitch. You can just clip those so that they come out of the tearaway. Move your hoop to the side, and here's the bag. Turn off the machine. Trim these guys. So I'm going to trim the bag first, and then I will show you how I turn it. Did not put that piece on the back very nice, but oh, before I trim it and stuff like that, I'll show you. So with the clean stitch, I usually just go to a satin. That's usually where it's going to tear out the easiest. Maybe it makes a liar out of me. And then it just pops right out. Again, Sulky Tear Easy is a great tearaway. I know that OESD has one. I can't think of what it's called right now. Ultra Clean and Tear is what theirs is called. I personally think theirs is a little expensive, but whatever suits your fancy. Get this guy. This is not the Sulky Clean Tear Easy, and that's why it's not tearing easy. So that's why I tell you to buy the other stuff. As I sit here and pull out tiny little pieces. Almost. Perfect. Sorry, I'm not a good multitasker, talking and tearing at the same time. There we go. Phew. And I would recommend making sure that you do tear this out, or the inside of your bag is going to look kind of So, I know it seems kind of silly right now, but I will tell you, I think it's worth it to take the time. You can always use tweezers to help get any stragglers that are being problematic. But, oh, almost forgot this big old chunk. There we go. All right, so here with the detail, I mean, you could try and get it out, but that I think is going to be fine. So what I'm going to do is cut all the way around the outside, leaving 1/4 of an inch. Remember, there is no turning hole on this because there's not a liner. It's just essentially what we used to call an exposed seam bag. We used to have exposed and enclosed. So now it is all just exposed. Going around. I am going to make sure that I leave a little extra for where that elastic is so that it doesn't, we'll close that door. That way I can still singe that elastic so that it doesn't accidentally pull out. Find my handy dandy lighter. The zipper, not so much the worry, it's more the elastic. Some people use gross grain ribbon as well. I have always had trouble with that pulling out, even if I singe it. Oh, hello. Come on, lighter. I think I can. I think I can. Why are you being so wimpy? Come on. Okay. But even when I singe it, I was having issues with it still, like, pulling out. So, use what works for you. So, I'm going to go back to this camera. I'm going to turn it. Sorry, make you seasick for a hot minute. So we are now looking at the heat press. Let me move it just a smidge for you. Okay, this is what I use at the shop when I'm ready to turn it. So it's on, it's at like 315. I am not going to close it all the way. That would be bad. You would have a big melted mess. But I'm just closing it enough to get the heat a little bit closer. Probably letting it hover for, say, 10, 15, maybe 30 seconds. Enough to warm it up so that it'll want to, you can see how it kind of like started to pucker. That kind of shows me that it is softening. It just helps turn. other options you have are hitting it with a blow dryer or tossing it in the dryer for a minute. If you're making them in the summertime, you can literally put them out in the sun. Like, you have plenty of options, but the most important part is, like, you do not want direct heat. So, like, even holding it here is going to soften up those corners for me to where I can just kind of use my fingernail and literally just get the corners turned, okay? It's all about that slight indirect heat, enough to warm it up without making it melt or getting too hot. And I like to just take it and literally just roll the corners in my fingers. If you take a turning tool or something sometimes and poke it, those corners, sometimes they like to be a little evil and pop out on you. So just be careful. That's why I like to just kind of take my fingers and kind of roll out the corners. Okay. And then there we have our finished bag. Now, if you don't like how it kind of puffs out and is more three-dimensional, it's kind of nice, in my personal opinion. Turn this off before I forget and come back to the tabletop for you. You can hit it with your iron, but again, you cannot put direct heat on this vinyl. So you would have to cover it with either a cotton woven or even a towel or a pressing cloth, cover it and then press it, okay? So I'm gonna take this cute little bag tag that I made earlier that's also releasing this week, clip it, slide it through the elastic here, tie it, twist it back on. And there we have the cute little mixed tape set. So here's another one. And then you can kind of see, so these are 5x7 size bags. And then this guy is the 5x8 or the 8x8 hoop size. Let me check comments. Most of what My Punk has will absolutely work. I would strongly suggest like maybe Stardust, or like somebody said, Fluidity. It's kind of a thicker, but it's super soft. And even the marine vinyl. So that's what the neon is. That's just a marine vinyl. Embossed, and noticed it said non-woven backing. So be careful with those that say non-woven backing, for sure. I haven't bought any of those either, so just be careful. Okay, so I think that's all I have for this week. Perfect. I literally finished with 1 minute over. Look at that. So I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. It is Tuesday. These designs release on Friday at 8 a.m., I believe, Eastern time. Maybe 7 a.m. I don't know. Friday. Set an alarm. 10 o'clock, you'll be golden. They're always on sale at intro pricing through Sunday at midnight Eastern time, 11:59. And then if you don't get them then, you'll be sad and you'll have to pay full price on Monday. So don't say I didn't warn you. And again, every other Tuesday I'm here. I believe my next one is actually pre-recorded, so pray for me. Still give me all the good comments and things, because I know it's going to be a hot mess. I've never done a pre-recorded video before, but I'll do my best for y'all. And then we'll be back to lives every other Tuesday. Yeah, I think that is all I got for this evening. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Enjoy your week, and I will see you guys